Apparently.
Okay, 10 Minuten Bühne frei für Alyssa Hinkle auf Englisch. Sie hat es erst auf Pfälzisch geübt, dann auf Hochdeutsch. Wir haben uns entschieden, Englisch ist gut. Bühne frei.
All right. I really want to thank you all for coming out here for this ecosystem showdown. We are going to be looking at ants and humans in the race to shape nature. So if you'll follow along with me, we have our guest of honor. Well, wait, she's a little bit small, so let's zoom in there. Oh, look, she's from Brazil. Now, hopefully you all are familiar a little bit with ants. But to make it a little easier for you, I'm going to use something that, as an analog, that hopefully you all are a little familiar with, I hope, human beings. So ants, like humans, have some interesting roles within their colony that relate to what we see in the human body. We have individual workers who function as the cells in the body. Oh, I think I'm smiling too big, and that's maybe causing some of these bumps. So forgive me. It's the big cheeks. So we have our ants who function as the cells within the body, and then we have our queen, who is also functioning as the reproductive system inside the system. Now, we have this special term for it in biology called eusociality. It's a very special condition that several insects, such as bees, which I'm sure you're all familiar with as well, experience, and this results in what we call a superorganism. So, we're going to focus on one particular superorganism today. Her name is Antonita. Very clever name on my part, thank you. Sorry guys. Now, Antonita, it's very important to remember, she is a representative. Yeah, maybe we try this.
Ich bin persönlich verantwortlich für diese technische Unterbrechung. Es tut mir leid, ich schäme mich bodentief. Bitte halten Sie die Uhr an. Das kann auf keinen Fall auf Ihre Rechnung gehen. Es geht auf meinen Nacken.
Take it.
Ab damit.
Yep. Yeah, it's complicated.
I just need a receiver.
It's very complicated.
Können auch mal das Licht ausmachen kurz.
It doesn't want to cooperate, we make it work. Thanks.
Entschuldigung.
All right, don't mind the creature on my back, guys. Let's refresh there. Okay, so Antonita, it's very important to remember that she is representing a superorganism. So underneath is actually many individuals, but in biology, we refer to the colony as one individual. So Antonita will be an individual today in our story here. All right, so it's really interesting. Antonita is actually a leaf cutter ant, and that means she is a farmer. She actually farms fungus garden underground, which she sends out her girls to collect leaf material in order to bring back to the colony and feed their fungus garden. Now, because of this very complicated mutualistic system, there is a lot involved in these colony dynamics. She has her foraging workforce, the girls that go out and find the perfect leaves. They bring that back to the fungus garden, and they then pass that material off to the garden workforce, who then chews down the material, integrates it, fertilizes it, and grows out the fungus for the colony to feed on. Now, this, of course, is an incredibly complicated and interconnected system. And this is something that they have to communicate through these roles, through the individuals within the system. And this decision-making is impacted by the material available to them. Now, there is one individual that I've kind of danced around a little bit, but I'm going to introduce them formally now. His name is Fred. He's a fungi. He is an incredibly important player in this, and he is Anita's partner. They've known each other for over 10 million years. They are very tight, very good relationship, and as a good partner, Anita does many jobs for Fred. She is a gardener. She is very good at curating the garden around the colony, making sure that Fred gets the best treats. She also is a construction worker. She makes sure Fred's environment is perfectly curated with the right air conditioning, the right humidity, with the special tunnels that she builds for him. She also is a lumberjack. She actually can go in and manipulate the tree roots that grow near her nest to provide the perfect light for Fred to bask in. And I would even say Anita might even be a supervillain. She can control the microclimate around her nest so that Fred is kept at the perfect condition at all times. Now, we would call this an ecosystem engineer. This is a very important role because she is able to manipulate her environment to suit Fred and hers needs. But one day, Anita notices that the temperatures start increasing. The plants, they start wilting. There are a lot of fires going on around her, and trees start completely disappearing. And she looks around, and she's just very confused, but she looks down the hill and she sees it's none other than her neighbor, Bruno. Now, I know we're not supposed to talk about him, but we're gonna today. Bruno, he is her human farming neighbor down the hill. He is starting a field of crops that he is very excited to grow, and as a farmer, he goes in and he clear cuts the area, plants his seeds, and starts going to town. He is also an ecosystem engineer. He is manipulating his environment to suit his needs. Now, Anita, she has to respond, right? She is normally taking care of Fred, no issues, but then she experiences some sort of change that affects the material that's around her, be it slash and burn, be it climate change. It's changing the plant conditions, which changes the plant material. And of course, Fred, he's gonna respond too. And he might start shrinking and shriveling up a little bit, you know, as you do when you get sick. He actually might start releasing some weird smells, or even kind of getting grimy and different bacteria all over him. And Anita, being a fantastic partner, is very aware of this. And she responds. She observes the cues that Fred is releasing, be it odor, taste, or if she identifies the physical structures through touch. And then she is able to return Fred to a healthy condition through this response. Now, this is a bit of a black box to us scientists, and that's actually what I'm working on. So, it's still undergoing, but we are very excited to understand a little bit more about Anita and her responses to Fred. Now, just a little background about Anita. She is a key herbivore. She can harvest up to 500 kilograms of dry weight per colony per year. That entails that her herbivory rate could get up to 30%, which is over 3 times that of the other herbivores in her environment combined. She can harvest almost 80% of the material, the different plant species in her neighborhood. She is a fantastic key herbivore. And so, you know, she takes a look at Bruno's field and she says, I'm in love. Fantastic. Thanks, Bruno. You're doing good stuff for me. And Bruno, he's not so happy. But you know what, Bruno, he sits and he gets frustrated and he thinks to himself, I have an idea. Well, Bruno, he decides enough is enough. If I can't stop Anita, I'm gonna poison Fred. So he goes out, he gets himself a poison that cannot be sensed by Anita, that cannot be tasted, cannot be smelled, and he puts it into some baits for Anita to take back to Fred. And shockingly, within 8 hours, Anita sees Fred is sick, and she removes that from his environment. She gets rid of all the sick parts of Fred. She makes sure he is taken care of. And she remembers, even though she can't taste it, even though she can't smell it, she remembers for up to 6 months. So, So Bruno decides, you know what? I can't get to him by poison. I'm just going to dig him out and light him on fire. Well, the problem is, Anita's colony is pretty dang big. So that doesn't work. Well, Bruno, he is at a loss. Anita won. And I think at this point, I think we can all cheer for Anita. Yes, yes, she is the winner. Finally, we have nature beating us, right? This is great news, this is great news. But in actuality, not so much, because Bruno, he has a family. He is a small farmer. He is trying his best. And Anita is actually disrupting a lot of the biodiversity around the area. Because remember, she's an ecosystem engineer too. She's changing the plant environment in that area. So what we need to do is we need to manage this system so that we have a better equilibrium for the both of them. We need to reduce deforestation. We need to prevent forest fragmentation to manage these changes. And we need to maintain biodiversity because, believe it or not, we need to find a path for these small farmers like Bruno to survive in South America while still maintaining the environment there. And I want to thank you all for your time and your patience, and I look forward to your questions.